Well, good afternoon and welcome back to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the show this afternoon. It's my mate Fox. Fox, thoughts?
Good morning. A bit of a struggle today. I didn't think it would be an open, free-flowing game for the start, but it was all about the result, and the result tipped in Rangers' favour, and I'm quite happy with that.
I think we were worthy winners, Fox. I just don't. Their system, the pitch, the conditions, everything was against the flow of football. And another day we would have scored 4 or 5. The bounce of the ball, it just didn't happen for us. I think we could have had 2 penalty kicks as well, Fox, if I'm being really honest.
I thought the first one in the first half with Kent, I thought the boy's knee caught Kent when he was going past him. I thought that was a penalty kick without a doubt. And then, of course, the grappling of Connor Goldson by the big boy Connolly was another penalty kick. But as usual, we don't get them.
We move on, Fox. 3 points, 17 games, 4 points strapped, So we can't complain, really,
Oh, no. I mean, as I said earlier, it was all about the result today. People expecting 5 and 6 nils. I never expected that. You knew they were going to put 11 men behind the ball, and that's exactly what they did. They scored a terrific goal, you must admit, right enough. A well-worked goal, good cross to the back post, and the boy rifled it after the near side, the far side post. But we matched that. The James Taverner free kick was out of this world. Must have been all of 35 yards?
I'll give you 30, mate. I'll give you 30.
But gave the goalkeeper absolutely no chance. And then that was the captain scoring. And then just before half-time, up pops the vice-captain to head us in front again. So a good showing really by the whole team, mate. You need to remember, it was nearly 8 o'clock before we finished on Thursday night. Long travel back for Poland, and we're the early kick-off. How did they work that one out?
Oh well. Aye. But they always like to help us in Europe, don't they?
Of course they do.
So we move on then. We get the 3 points, and as I said, we've played the games we've played in the league is it's pretty impressive when you look at it, mate. You're not going to win 3-4 every week, and that's a good one to get away. It maybe keeps your feet in the ground as well, Fox.
Yes, it does. I don't know what to say about that game. I thought we were very good in the first half. The second half, I thought we were kind of sloppy in our final passing once we came across the halfway line. And although we did create 1 or 2 chances, Arfield hitting the post, Connor Goldson had a header. I thought he could have done better with as well. Alfie with a wild swipe at the board and completely missed it. But they I don't think they even had a threat on us in the second half at all, did they?
No, they never. Okay then, if people want to join us, these are thoughts. What's the number, mate?
The number is 0141 356 1972.
Or you can join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. We've brought in the call, the old school blue. If you phone in, hang up, and we will phone you back. If you join us, just wait. We'll bring you into the conversation before you can start talking. I thought we done okay, Fox. And I think we controlled the match, if I'm being honest. You know what I mean? If they were up the park 3 or 4 times, yeah. To be fair, they could have scored. They had the corners when they had 3 corners, one after the other. I think it was the first corner. How we kept it, I don't know. And then obviously they scored the goal. But they've set up with, I don't know, it was like they had 5 or 6 across the back at times, and then there was no space. And I just like to have seen Murphy were front free in the last third, no coming deep all the time, But
Ox have got to come deep because they're totally outmanned up front. There's 3 players up front with 7 defenders round about them. It's very, very hard to get a ball through to them. It's hard for them to take on defenders because there's two men running about them all the time when they get control of the ball. And it's going to be the midfield. And luckily today it was the defenders that stood up and counted and scored the goals that go as a victory.
17 games, folks, 47 for, 4 against. No bad, eh?
I am quite happy. I was disappointed to lose a goal today, but look, the all-round the team's playing very well. You'll get games like this, it's a wee bit of, as you say, a struggle. But as long as you get the result and don't leave any points behind, it's a good day.
Exactly, mate. That's 17 games chopped off, 21 to go, mate. We're moved on a space, you know.
Well, of course, it takes us another 3 points at the moment, clear of the chasing pack of Hibs. So, depending on results later on the day, it could be another good Sunday for us, you know.
A beautiful Sunday. Yeah, we're 15 points clear of Hibs in second place, mate. Yeah.
Yes, and then there's the other ones are joint fourth behind us.
Yes. Wonder if Motherwell will catch them. What do you think?
Well, there's no many points in between them, mate, so it could be a close thing for the European places.
Mm-hmm. All right. Just waiting for the first caller coming in. Here he comes, I think. Oh, no, he's not. There's no answer. Aye. Who's Sean for you?
I thought Stephen Davis controlled the midfield. For me, I thought he was the best man in the park. Don't think he gave the ball away all afternoon. Worked his socks off, chased the ball down, got himself back and forward during the game. I thought he was outstanding again today.
Wouldn't argue that, but I thought because of the goals, I think the two men, Tavernier and Golson, will get the headlines again, mate.
Well, they're rightfully due it. I mean, I think that's the best free kick I've seen this season. Barisic just scored a couple of absolutely thumping ones as well. But that goal today, what a kick after the game, mate. Took us about 20-odd minutes to get it, but I couldn't believe it when he had a go for there, and the keeper was absolutely stranded, mate. Terrific goal.
James Tavernier, 11 goals, 8 assists.
He's did no bad for a full-back, isn't he?
Aye. And also, my big Connor's chipped in with a few goals, isn't he?
Aye, he's scored a few for set pieces and corner kicks this season. That was a delightful header for him. Another terrific ball into the box by Captain Tav, and he twisted his neck and got some power on it to send it into the far left-hand corner. That was a great header.
Mm-hmm. But we do need our forward players to start throwing in goals just to take the pressure off the team. But it'll come, I'm sure it will, mate, yeah?
Yes, of course it will.
You know? That will be the headlines. Tavernier, he will. It will be with that free kick because it was a purler.
Well, he deserves all the credit that he can put his way, mate.
We're really pleased because it's a tough game. You're not expecting an easy game here, and I thought Dundee competed really well and made it really difficult for us, especially in the first half. I thought we were much better how we handled that in the second half, but it's another big win, and you've got to come to places like this and show a different side here, and hopefully we'll look back on results like this come the end of the season and be even more prouder of them.
We keep talking about James Tavernier, but a great free kick and an assist as well. Sum up his performance.
Well, his form's exactly where we want it. He's been superb, sensational since the first game of the season. Again, he pops up with an assist and a goal. The goal's world class. It doesn't matter who you are or who you play for. If you can execute a free kick like that into the top corner with that amount of dip, speed, it's a world class moment. And he comes big for us for the second goal again. And Connor's been just as consistent as James, so really pleased with both of them, but really more proud of the team performance, the way we competed. Sometimes you've got to win ugly and show a different side here, and I thought we did that today.
Yeah, you don't concede goals often in the league, so when you did concede, to go up and score right after?
We had a few issues. We had a few issues with crosses in the first half. You know, they had a chance just before they scored. We never stopped the cross down here. Bourne never stopped the cross. The kid could have had a free shot at goal, and then obviously the goal came from the other side where we haven't stopped the cross. But it's a fantastic finish from the Dundee United player, so credit to him. But again, we show character. We don't feel sorry for ourselves, and we keep pushing forward.
Another example of a spread of goals again today. Your defenders again scoring.
Yeah, you know, we normally talk about clean sheets, but the goals are getting spread out around the team. We've got a lot of threats from different areas. You know, the substitutions and the options I've got from the bench is all positive.
Did you breathe a sigh of relief when Alfredo Morelos was only shown a yellow card and not a red early in the first half?
No, not really. I haven't looked at the incident back, but I remember it in normal play, and it was a foul, and the referee's dealt with it with a yellow card. I don't think there's anything else to say on it.
Is he a bit frustrated just now? Do you feel he needs a goal today?
Well, he doesn't do interviews, so I don't know, and you don't know. Listen, he's working hard, his application's good, he's getting chances. Maybe his confidence is affected slightly because normally that ball, that world-class pass from Kamar Roof, he normally take that on first time. But if he keeps working hard and stays focused, keeps working hard for the team, I'm sure his form will turn.
With this momentum during the busy festive period, is that key going into that and all the options that you mentioned pre-game?
Just need to keep taking each challenge as it comes. That was the third game in a real busy week, 3 on the road. I didn't expect us to be perfect today. It was about showing that different side, the attitude, the mentality, and showing that we are capable of coming to places like this on the back of a tough week and getting maximum points. That was the incentive today, and we've delivered.
We'll let you get out the rain. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
I think he sums it up. Fox, are you back with us, Brad? You all right? Yeah, I think he sums it up. Mate, it's all about sometimes just grinding out results. We know that for our history. You know how you win leagues. You know it's not always pretty player swashbuckling. You know, or plethora of goals. You know what I mean?
He always says it as it is. Doesn't mince his words. Doesn't he try and sugarcoat what he sees in front of him? And that's the way I like my manager to speak. Never mind all this telling fibs and, you know, the usual thing, bumming things up that never happen. I love listening to our manager's press conferences, as I say, direct and straight to the point.
Here. And the referee made the decision. He obviously saw the incident and thought it warranted a yellow card. So we move on. Done.
Aye, well, it'll be the big talking point in the papers for the rest of the week and the phone-in shows. You know what like it's going to be.
No, I can imagine. So we're Fox, we're heading towards halfway. It's not the start of the season. It's near enough the first half in the league. You know, we're 2 games away from hitting the halfway stage. We're hoping tomorrow, and then I think we're hoping tomorrow next week, aren't we? Next Saturday, and then on Wednesday we're away to St Johnstone. You know, so the games keep coming thick and fast.
It's a very, very tight schedule now to January the 2nd, and as long as we keep grinding out results like this and don't drop any points, we'll be in a good place, mate. This team finds a way to win. I've said this a few times this season. They always work out how to get the goals, and they get them. And I think they'll continue to keep us in front right up to the Old Firm game, which I expect us to win as well.
Here, mate. Here. So if people want to join us, what's the number, mate?
The number is 0141 356 1972.
Our choice is Skype at RangersRadio.online. We brought in the call by Old School Blue. If you phone in, hang up, and we will bring you into the conversation. I get what you're saying, mate, but just have to keep churning them up. I think Andy from Leeds is joining this afternoon. Andy?
Afternoon. That's a good ad for one that Gerard and Fox had just said what I was going to say there. But, you know, you learn more out of that as well. You know, I mean, we dominated the game without really pushing, didn't we? You know?
Without being swashbuckling, as George would say, we controlled the second half. I mean, they were pretty much back in our final third, just keeping us out. That was their intention, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's the way they were going to play.
We couldn't get the third goal. The third goal, obviously, if we went 3-1, they might have opened up a wee bit, and then it would have ended up. It could have ended up your score, mate. You know.
Yeah. Well, I think the big man Morales, he just needs to get a goal. He's just shot with confidence. That's all it is, right enough. If he could have got that goal, he might have been, got himself after right enough. But you win when you look back. If we win this league, you'll look at this game and go, right, that was a game that last year before we'd have probably drew that game. So we're actually coming out and winning it. So going forward, and when you look at it, it's another away game chalked half. It's a W at the side of us. So onwards and upwards, move forward, get ourselves into the semi-finals of the League Cup. Hopefully, get that first trophy set up, ready to go for the remainder of the season. We're in no danger at all there, we really? Let's be honest. We just didn't get out of gear.
The best team won 2-1 flat Dundee United. Anyway, we've also been joined by Jim from Paisley. Evening, Jim. Afternoon, Jim.
Afternoon. Yeah, obviously, that's how you win leagues.
Well said,
that game today. That's what you do. You grind this nonsense out. You want to play 6 along the back and 4 in the midfield and go on the break. I think they just did exceptionally well today. I was quite pleased today.
Aye, mate. We were never under any real threat. I mean, what did McGregor touch the ball maybe 3 times in the second half?
Well, possibly.
One of them he jumped up there, and the other one he fell on it right in the death when he fell on it. He may have touched it more than that when it's come through to him, but apart from that, no, you're right, mate. And look, let's be honest, 2-1 flat the D United, they didn't know where to stick or twist, because they knew if they opened up, we'd have picked him off, Jim.
That's what I'd like to add another thing. I thought the referee was a dick the day. You know what I mean? Saying that's not a bad word, dick, is it?
Some strange decisions, mate. Some strange decisions. Guys getting pulled back, hauled back, deliberate pullings. He booked, obviously, Alfie get booked. Who else got booked for the first? We get somebody else booked, didn't we?
I think that Alfie was due a booking.
Aye,
I think it was just very fortunate. Now, I'm going to say something here. I was surprised it lasted so long. I thought the gaffer might have hooked him the half time at least. We kept him on for the last day. You never know. Alfie's one day, and he can do anything. You don't know what he's going to do next. And I thought he was very amateur today, Alfie. It looked as if the first time he's ever played for us, just some of the chances he had in the box, and I thought he was pony and trap today, to be honest with you.
He didn't have his greatest game, Andy, did he? Let's be honest.
No. Like he's got little bits about him, but he didn't look good at all today. Right enough. He looked void of ideas, right enough. I mean, he didn't use fresh air one, he fresh air 2, didn't he? That if he'd have put the boot through it, I think he'd have scored both of the goals, to be honest with you. But like at the end of it, the only weak gripe I've got now, if strikers could start scoring, this could be sky's the limit. Because the midfield and the defence are getting all the goals here, apart from Roof. I thought Big Hitton, when he came on, he showed a little bit of there. That could be good for the team going forward. But all strikers go through that. Look at Ali. I mean, he had long spells right enough. If he could get one, he'll be okay. I'm pretty sure he needs one definitely for his confidence to get the boy going. Because he looks like the wheels on top of him when he comes off. Like some of their faces,
Aye, I don't have a problem with that. I think they make too much of that, if I'm being really honest with you, Andy. But I think he does look. I would have played him today, but what I will say, once the game's finished, he looks as somebody that's void of a wee bit of confidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. But I mean, they all get them, the strikers, and it will come. I mean, with the looks of how Stevie G's going along with his team, he's going to keep him in there because, like we said, he's the number one striker. So they've got to go for that, and it will come. I mean, that game could have been 4-5-1 if you look at it. I mean, Arfield had a couple of good, the one after the post there, and the save he brought out of him, and that was a penalty with goals. Jesus Christ, what you got to do? I thought you couldn't touch him now. But
I thought it was, mate. I thought it was. But look, we move on. 3 points, tick the box, Jim, and you say, look, that's 17 played now.
Aye, absolutely. Listen, we're going to have us loads of time all year. These teams that go away, we go to get away from home. I don't know the next many away games we've got.
I'll give our fixtures up to Christmas, mate. Obviously, we play St Mirren on Wednesday, and then we'll get Motherwell at Ibrox on Saturday. Then we're away to St Johnstone, yeah, and the 23rd. And then on Boxing Day, we're home to Hibs. Then we're away to St Mirren before we play them.
Right.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, and we've got another 3 away from home. I've never known a run of games, so many games away from home. Maybe it's just me.
I know. It sounds like a difficult fixture list all year, and we're going to have to suffer this.
Aye, but you just have to win and get the points and take them off and move on, mate.
Aye, but listen, see the day all year. See the day. I was saying 4-0 or that, but see, you saw the way the game was going. I wasn't giving that a damn. I couldn't care less. But the score was going to be as well as we got 3 points all year, you know. That'll do me fine.
All right, we'll be joined by Domarnock. Afternoon, Domarnock.
Good afternoon, lads.
Afternoon.
I think all that mattered today was the 3 points, wasn't it? Once that final whistle went, 3 points was in the bag, and performance, the pitch, the ref, Morelos, doesn't matter. 3 points is in the bag and we move on. But hard gone, wasn't it? The third goal would be sitting in easy street, but until you get that third goal, you're just worried about that counter attack
or a mistake.
A mistake, aye. That goal they got, no, I mean, they'll never do that again. No, I mean, that's one of these plays that doesn't come off many times. But brilliant by Tav. What a goal. And big Golson as well. That was superb. So happy days. 3 points in the bag and we move on.
Now that the game's finished, Domarnock, I mean, what it says is 17 played, 15 won, 2 draws. Yeah?
That's championship winning form.
That's what it says, mate, you know. And our next league game's at home to Motherwell. You know, so we're hoping that we can win there and move on again. Chalk another tick in the box, mate, yeah?
Yep. Just keep winning and get us into this game at New Year and take the 3 points here, and we'll see where the land lies. And if we're at least 10 ahead, that's one hand on the championship in my eyes. But until then, we just need to keep on racking the points up.
Aye. It's all about keep winning. It must be one of our best runs ever. You know, I know we went 44 games back in 92, 93, but this is 17 league. What is that? 10 in Europe, is it? Is it 10 in Europe? 9 in Europe, 1 in the League Cup, 27 games. Undefeated.
Your arithmetic's better than mine.
What's that, mate?
I said your arithmetic's better than mine.
Aye.
You're up here. I'll do a bridge man every game from now to the end of the season.
Oh, I don't think you're alone. I mean, that was what Bridge isn't on, because that was too much phone football for him. 2-1's exciting for him.
It's too much for fingernails, but isn't it? Just
aye,
the close games like that. It's just
when they go 85 minutes, the man, you're thinking, oh, we've seen this before, haven't we?
Aye, yep. I was quite surprised at the 2 minutes. The referee blew. There was three goals in that first half. It was your corner, and we were only 15 seconds in. It actually been at least a minute injury time in that first half, and you're going, you just blew it so we don't get the corner. I was surprised at 2 minutes. I was quite happy about that.
Aye, we played it out quite well. What did you think of Big Borner's crossfield pass at the end?
Who one was that?
When they got it for the throw in, and he just, I don't know what he done, mate. He just booted it right out of the park.
That man went in his head out there,
aye, right in the end. Anyway, we've been joined by Gary. Afternoon, Gary.
How we doing, Bears? We okay?
Yep.
Aye, happy with it. I think
good.
Everybody's happy with the result, mate, under the circumstances.
First and foremost, 3 points. That's it. Difficult game. Dundee United played well. You've got to give them their credit. I think that they if you look at their defensive side, they worked really, really hard in that midfield. To be honest with you, I think they're, taking nothing away from Rangers getting the result, but I think Dundee United's midfield probably done more running than us with the ball to cover more ground and shut down the space, preventing us from getting
moving the ball and getting it through the centre. They shut down the channels as well. So all credit to them. They stayed in the game. They gave themselves a chance of coming away with a point. So, but we done the job. We turned up. We took the 3 points. 2 good goals. Golson's goal was very similar to the old firm goal that he scored, to be honest with you. So we've seen that before. He's worked on that. He knows what he's doing there. Tav's goal, world class. Honestly, I was thinking he's quite far out, quite central. I was saying to my lad, we might see something here after the training run, or maybe trying to slot somebody in or something a bit cheeky, and he's absolutely smashed it in the top bin. So I was over the moon with that.
That's a good point. I'll go down the panel and ask who thought Tav would shoot for that distance, because he's never really. That did look as if it was right at the edge of his range. Andy, did you think he would shoot for there?
I fancied him to take it from there, definitely.
Right, okay.
It's just far back, because if you look at it, when he gets the ball up, it dips down. So just that wee bit back there, it gave him that opportunity to get what he needed to do.
Jim?
To be quite honest with you, just, I wasn't sure who was going to take that free kick. And I think it's both of them were capable. And Big Borna.
I don't think I think that must be the furthest free kick I think I saw Tav score for Kilmarnock.
I think so, but with his confidence at the minute, then anything's possible in it. And that's got to be up along with Big Roof's goal, top 5 Rangers goals so far this season. This season, maybe top 3, you know what I mean?
Mate, you'll struggle this season.
Yeah.
There's been some fabulous goals.
Yeah, Rob, see if you'd ran the ball in your hand and placed it a certain place where you wanted that ball to be, that's where you have put it. You ran up with your hand up there. With the ball in your hand.
Perfect, so Gary, it's his confidence has maybe made him have the think about having a go for there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I think, the game is all about confidence. It's probably 60-70% confidence, the game. And his confidence is, it's going to be through the roof, innit? But on the reality, Rangers is all about, at the moment, it's all about trying to do the right thing rather than trying to do, with Tav taking that shot that maybe he could have left for Morelos, that's all to do with confidence, but probably the wrong decision looking back on it. But that's not to say he done anything wrong, he's just full of confidence. I just think we've been so far out, maybe he'd have thought, right, they'll expect me to shoot because my confidence is high, maybe try and catch them out with something after the training run. But, obviously if you've got the confidence and you can smash it in the top bin, then that works, doesn't it? So, no, I'm over the moon. I didn't think it would be a 3 or 4 or 5 that people were saying. I think we have to kind of catch ourselves sometimes. There's nothing wrong with being confident as Rangers fans, but there's going to be teams out there who have got the ability to do what Dundee United done the day to us, and we've got to have that belief that the team can see it out and get the 3 points. And do you know what? In my head, I was thinking, see if they nick a goal here in the last 5 minutes. The problem with Rangers fans sometimes is they slaughter the team and we come away with a draw. And I was thinking, what? Would that have been a disaster if we'd have drawn the day?
You've obviously never been on here when we've been defeated, has it, Kilmarnock?
It's heavy going on it, even the websites as well, you know what I mean? It's tough going, and everybody gets it. The scattergun comes out, doesn't it?
Aye, we don't look objectively. I think one of the big levels, and we've seen it, we've seen it at Ross County, even though we won a lot more comfortable up there, but the pitches, the puddings of pitches, Kilmarnock are levels, because the bodies, you can't pass the ball as well.
I think it was the touchline, it's the benches, it was like a bog, wasn't it? And I think Tav went there a few times, and as much it was raining there, the pitch wasn't, the ball was sticking on it. But it was tough going, but we're back down the road with 3 points to bag. That was my team last night that I picked, but I tell you, I had a sub Morelos in 15 minutes. See after that elbow.
I don't think you were alone, mate. I don't think you were alone.
And I'm surprised at half time he never subbed him as well. But I just think he's leaving him alone to try to get goals to keep his value up. I think that's what he's doing. I think he's trying to keep him in a short window. But I normally kind of go, he's tripping Cooper when he comes off. But the day I was looking at him, I'm going, he's upset with himself No, I mean the chances he had and his poor performance. He knows himself that he's got a lot better today. He's a lot better than that. He's a better player than that. You know what I mean? I think that's why he comes after his face tripping him.
Yeah, you know what annoys me?
One at a time. Wait till you hear your name. Right, on you go, Andy.
Sorry, boy.
Yeah, I think the man is right there, right enough. I mean, it was merely upset of not doing what he thought could have happened for him, right enough. But I think out of these games, if you look at it over and all, I mean, as long as we come out the right side, these games don't do with any harm at all. We actually learn something. We learn more about each other as players. And that's good going forward for the team, you know. I mean, you can't keep going on smashing teams all the time because you don't learn nothing. You just think, right, I'll turn up and we're just going to rattle them. Now, this is a good hard-fought win. It's a good 3 points. And in all the points we've got to now, I think this is the best 3 points we've got in the league because it's a hard-fought goal. Although we were on top, we've come away there feeling strong and thinking, right, well, there you go. Another away game off. 3 points in the bag. Onwards and upwards. Now the league's packed till next Saturday. Is it Saturday we play?
Yes, Saturday.
So League Cup, let's go and get a good result or even get through into the next round. You know, and then you're set up and you're one game away from the final. And I'm pretty sure about if we can get to the final after what happened to us last year, I'm pretty sure we can bring that first bit of silver with them and then I get a real good feel factor amongst us all, ready to go along to what we're going to achieve at the end of the season. It's all good at the moment, isn't it?
Aye, that's good, mate. It's good. We've been joined by Big Stevie. How we doing, big man?
Brand new. Anyone for popcorn?
Oh, are you settling down for the second half? I hope you'll be watching Rangers Ladies on album, mate.
No, not at all. Guys, listen, let's be realistic. We've been 3 hard away games there in the bounce. We're not always going to scoot things. We were robbed at a couple of penalties, and if we would have took our chances, it could have been a cricket score. The main thing today was the 3 points in the bag. Another away game, another box ticked, and we're happy days. Now we're sitting here, we're hearing about protests outside Parkhead, and we're sitting waiting their result today. Guys, we're in a great place. The team's done us proud. We Alfies know firing at all cylinders, but I'm sure our backroom staff will get them up and running. There's no problems there, but guys, come on, let's be realistic. Three away games in the bounce, and we've done everything we wanted today. So we've got to be realistic sometimes. I know I was listening to Guy 5-0, 4-0. No, let's do this, Bob. And look, I'm happy days. I'd have took a Bridgeman the day before a ball was kicked, and what a goal for our captain! Another goal and another assist. Wow, brilliant. Happy days. Popcorn the seeds gone like anything. Tell Robert for East End I've got a bag here waiting for me to get picked up, a black bag.
Stevie.
Yes.
Is popcorn the new scrambled egg out in Jump Chapel?
Hey, us drum boys would eat a scabby dog. You know that. Come on now. We've got Marine Mountain out here. Kill a man for a gyro, no? But I couldn't get a hold of Big Matt this morning. I wonder if any of the Corby people have seen him. I think that's him in the bad books.
Oh, did they end up staying out for the extra time?
Yes. Mm-hmm. They stayed for the extra time and penalty kicks for the sounds of things. So I hope the big man got to see the game.
That's that guy you've got to blame, innit?
Oh, Cookie, aye. 100%.
Oh, Jack Daniel. Jack Daniel.
Aye, brilliant. But anyway, Bells, I just thought I would give a wee quick call and just say, look, we've got to be realistic. The team have done brilliant. 3 hard away games in the bounce. Let's see where it takes us. We're brand new and our captain's on fire, man. I'm starting a protest thing to get him looked at for the England squad. Come on, man. How's that guy not getting looked at? I don't care who you are. See that technique up and down that Tavernier done today? It doesn't matter where you are in the world. That is totally world class. And take a bow, Captain James Tavernier. Brilliant. I'll leave you with that, lads, okay? Because I'm getting the Sunday roast on. Come on, Teddy Bells, the other people!
We've also been joined by Cairo. Afternoon, Cairo.
Good afternoon, lads. How you doing?
The Jib and Doug, thoughts?
I think we've lost that monkey off our back, to be honest with you.
Right.
I don't think they'll be using it this season. I think there are a couple of things that's shown that today's game and another couple of games, and I think I was a wee bit kind of really concerned with the two Benfica games, but it was Benfica, so you get away. But I think this last couple of displays, Ox, I think we've kind of shed that load now, because I think if we lose a couple of points going in now, I don't think it'd be terminal. But it's terminal as it was last year. I think we'll get out of it. I think we'll dust ourselves down, get back up. Last year we didn't do that, and that caused us a lot of problems. It caused us to lose the league, I think. So this season, I think the things that have changed that for me are better players. But I think that thing that we were asking about, is it leadership in the park? Is it leadership off the park? It looks as though it's been belief in the system and getting to understand the system, because players are coming in and players are going out now, and they just slot in there. So I think there's something there about understanding what Gerrard has been trying to get to them. And I think it's that belief. I think that's what's been missing, because even the day you heard players shouting and you seen Golston not having a go at Barisic, but maybe having a go, but in a sort of a helpful way, if you know what I mean. You see them talking to each other, and you can hear sometimes as well. So that wasn't there last season, I don't think. And I think maybe that's the difference. And I think that's how we've managed to shed that Jib and Doug. So I don't think you'll hear me mentioning that again this season, because I think that monkey's off our back. On the day's game, one thing that struck me, if you see how I think that booking affected Alfie, because Alfie's game is harrying, it's shoving, it's getting in face, it's being physical. He's
only got one person to blame for that, mate.
I'm absolutely no disagreeing with you there, Ox. It's him to blame, but that caused him in it, because his lack of confidence in that and tap. I mean, some of the swings he was having, they weren't even anywhere near the ball. So that's what was a catalyst for him not having a good game today, irrespective of whose fault it was. You're absolutely right.
The last time I seen somebody for it so far away from a ball was you trying out of your snooker.
It wasn't even my turn. But the point I was going to make there, Ox, was if you watch that book and how it affected Alfie, which was an extreme case, okay, and it was his own fault. Some of their players, the amount of tackles they had, and the amount of just chivying away, getting in late, leaving their foot, the amount of times they had done that and got away with it, our players were starting to get a wee bit wary. And that sharpness that you get when you're playing in a team where you're getting a fair go with the whip, this sort of you're not having to watch for the tackle coming in that wee bit later or that. I think that was part of your game. You weren't on the game today, but I think that was the way Dundee United were allowed to sort of get away with all the stuff they were getting away with, and weren't even getting fouls, and their players weren't getting booked. Now, if a couple of their players had got booked, the effect that you see with Morelos was quite drastic. It might not be as drastic, but it might allow our players to play with that wee bit more freedom that we've seen in the last couple of games, where they're running freely, they're running and they're moving, they're not getting blocked. That team were playing like linebackers half the time, man. So I think there's a lot to that as well, the way we played today. So credit to the team. You're right, there are the kind of games last season we might have faltered and maybe and lost a point. This time we've came through it. Two bits of excellence, I think. The two goals, the first goal we have, obviously. But sometimes you need that. But however, I think the way Dundee United played, they played really well. They played really disciplined. They're all young. They were getting in there, but they were hammer throwers, man. They were chivying us all the time, and that referee allowed it. And that, to me, I'm not a conspiracy theories with the referees at all, but you can see how a booking can affect players, and no booking players and allowing them to do that sort of thing can affect the game as well. And that referee allowed that, and I think that's poor refereeing.
There was a few yellow cards for me with the pullbacks and the grab around the collars and the pulling of shots when somebody's went past them. That can happen.
Can I add to that?
On you go, mate.
So I'm in total agreement, and I wanted to say it earlier. I'm not a conspiracy theorist either when it comes to the ref. I think the refs are trying, but it's clear as day that they're refereeing two different teams in the same game. See, when McGregor does it all the time, and I love that he does it. You know when he coaxes that lad in to picking the ball up? and the lads had a go at him. It's handbags. It's nothing, right? It's not a yellow card. See if that's Morelos and the shoes on the other foot. He's getting a yellow card for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The referee would 100% give Morelos a red card for that, even though he's not done anything. Mm-hmm. And I think that plays in Morelos' mind. He knows he's treated different to all the other players on the pitch.
Maybe he was treated differently today because, let's be honest, Alfie got away with one. Kilmarnock.
That was a game-changing decision that the referee messed up. We all know he should have been off for that, but we'll take it. But they were leaving things. Every tackle they were leaving things on us. The intent was there on McGregor at the end. Morelos would have got a yellow card, no doubt about that, because the intent was there. But back to Morelos, even for the first kick-off, he was leaving stuff in, and I think he just been wound up that it was against Dundee United in his rivalry, wasn't there? And he's been in his heat.
Maybe after that challenge for the last game, because it was the centre-half at Dunham, wasn't
it? Yeah. So, but hey, the referee was an absolute nightmare, and they want to talk about that. That's why I don't want to talk about Morelos' elbow. But hopefully Tav's goal will outshine it. Know what I mean? And that's what it should be. That's what we should be talking about.
Still get by the compliance officer.
He's been booked for it, Fox. I don't think he can go there, can it?
They make the rules up as they go along, but you know.
Aye, true enough, mate. True enough.
Yeah, Fox, even if he's made a decision on the park, a yellow card, it stands a yellow card. They can't go back and change the red.
I believe so, mate. It's only if he misses it, innit? But they'll change the rules tomorrow, Jim. That's the point Fox is making.
Well, that's very true.
Andy, well, we know we didn't play well, but we didn't play poorly. But it's just the way the other team set up, and it just things didn't come off for us.
Well, that's that. I mean, they had a rigid plan there just to, stifle and stop and try and stay in the game, and if it's 2-1 like it was, to try and get in. But they did nothing. The first time they opened up was back at the back end of the game there, and Rangers cut right through them and nearly scored. So, that's their plan. At the end of the day, we come out of this and we held our own and we're strong. On the referees, I go the other way. I think they know exactly what they're at. There's been far too many incidents for it not to. But we definitely got away with Morales because, the ball had went and then he put the elbow on. I'm not convinced that that's finished. But going back to the game, when we're going to get these games, and as long as we come out of them with a 2-1 result, that's all that matters. It's another away game, as I said, with 3 points, nothing to worry about. I'm quite, as I said, I think this is the best 3 points we've won, or 11 points we've won now, because these are the games, if we do win the league, that will turn around and go, right, that's the result. Beating teams 4 and 5 and Hamilton 8, they're not what you're going to remember. It's games like this that get you over the line, and then you look back and go, that was a good hard-fought game there, and we won, we come out. And to be honest with you, I wasn't worried, even at the back end where you do. I thought we just looked in control. I don't think we've got out of second gear off season line. And once it comes and the strikers start hitting the straps, we're going to be all right here. And as Cairo said, if we get a slip back or a knockback, which will happen, you can't go all the way through the season not getting one of them. You don't fear that we're going to blow up here. We'll just. I think it would make us more angry, to be honest with you, to go on to achieve what we want to achieve. We're in a good place. The risk of repeating myself all the time, we're just in a good place. I feel great about Rangers fan. Always have been, always will be. But getting up there and looking at that, you get up in the morning and you look at your text or whatever, like, oh, there you go, there's another win. Brilliant. On we go. Move on now. Getting to that semi-final, that's what I'm thinking about now. The league game's gone. We've got the points. They bought it. Hopefully they bang up there, or them stupid guys, let's say, I'll be good over there, getting them out loud. Let's hope that gets into their heads and it affects them and they drop another couple of points. And then, we're going to have a great Sunday again, aren't we? But I'm not really bothered with the win now. I think if they just keep winning, it's done. Simple.
Cairo, Andy's point, these are the kind of games you grind out, you win the league, mate. And then we'll go to Gary.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. We've always said that. And I think my biggest fear at the start of the season was that we can't handle getting a beating, or we can't take one setback. It sets us back 2-4. I think we're through that. I think that's the key, and I think grinding out these results just takes that away as well, that pressure away as well, because we're getting through there. I thought Dundee United, the amount you were hearing about them having COVID and all that kind of thing, not having their players. I don't know how many of their actual players were there. They didn't really bother much about that, to be honest. But I thought they gave a good account of themselves, well organised. It's just this continual getting away with a wee bit more than, things than most for referees at times. And if we can grind out their results and get away and do it, we don't need to worry about anything else. And it's, as Bridgman says, today was important. It was a real changer. That couple of weeks where you're getting to the stage of, God, we're going to get through this. And if we get through this to the end of the year, I think we're at a stage where we can start to see the finish line. Now, that's not to say you want to get complacent of that, but it means that you can afford to have a wee bit bad off days or whatever. I don't see it because we've got the pool now. If somebody's no playing, be honest with you, I'd have taken Alfie off as soon as he got booked and we started to see his heat go down a wee bit. I'd have just pulled him straight off, told him it was for his protection to make sure he wasn't going to get sent off, etc., etc. Maybe gave him a boot up the backside. Maybe I gave him so the next time he goes on his heat's a bit easier. But that's not the point. I think the point is that going forward, with any player we take off with another player that's coming on, that's playing the same system, that knows the system, knows how we're playing, and we carry on, and it seems seamless. So that, to me, is the big difference for last season, and I'm really, really enjoying it. It's so pleasing in the eye when you see the Rangers passing the ball about the way they normally pass it. They're a wee bit sluggish today, but there were wee spells as well. Just their passing at times is just sublime, and it's great to watch. I mean, it's great to have that plus winning. Just that aura is back. That Rangers, we are Rangers is back, and that for me, that's just fantastic.
All right, Gary. Sometimes in that game when we were centre halves in the ball and took it into their half, there was only McGregor. You've got 21 players, in one half of the pitch, and they're just defending their goal. It is hard to break down. It's not as easy as people think.
No, that's the modern way of playing, really. Isolate one half of the pitch, swamp that side of the pitch, get your team set up, move the ball around. But Dundee United done really well to shut down them passing angles in the middle of the pitch, and they played really wide across the back to shut down the channels and stop us. I mean, if you think about it, there wasn't we didn't manage to get a lot of balls into the middle. And even when we did put balls in, Tav and Borna put balls in, there was a lot of Dundee United bodies in there to deal with the crosses. So, but going back, these games are the type of games that are going to win you leagues. The dirty games, getting the 3 points, getting out of the line. And to be honest with you, I'm sure everybody else listening today, when they scored, you're gutted that you've conceded a goal, but you still have the faith that we can go on and have too much for them in the second half, which proved the case.
They're going to have to look at that defence, mate. That's 4 goals we've lost in the league all season.
But if that's the standard of goals that teams have to score against us, man, because that boy, the way he's collected the ball, first touch out himself, and then he's crossed it first time, and I thought he'd overhit it to the back post. And when you think about that finish, first time, and he's put it in the only place he could score, really, that bottom corner, across goal, tight angle. If that's the quality of goal that teams need to score against us to get a goal, we're doing pretty well, because that was a really good goal. Apart from that, it didn't cause any other problems. Really.
Funny enough, before the goal, they could have scored for a corner, but Kilmarnock, after they scored, I don't think they had another chance, did they?
No, it's just looking at stats. We had 74% possession to their 26, which is massive. We had 18 shots to their 6. And shots on target, we had 5, which is quite low for us. They had 2. So one of them was a goal for them. And the corners were 12 for us and 3. So they had 2 shots on target. One they buried, a tight goal. It was a good goal. But as I say, that was a bit of a wonder goal as well. Players don't score their goals every other week. So, just what Gary's saying. If a really good goal at that is what takes it to get it by McGregor or our keeper, then we'll take that, because not a lot of them will be coming.
No. Who's Sean for you?
Yeah.
Yes, Jim.
Yeah. Aye. I watched the game, obviously. I thought that, see the boy that plays the centre back for them, Connor, I thought he was the man of the match, actually.
He was everywhere, mate. And another day he could also have been sent off as well, couldn't he?
Aye.
He was everywhere for them. He was everywhere. And I think if you watched him coming out the tunnel at the start of the game, you might understand why. Cairo. We've got to be happy, haven't we? We know it wasn't swashbuckling, but we've got to be happy.
Aye, I think we have. We've got to be cheery. Aye, of course we have, man. We've got to be over the moon. It's a turning point. You know, I think it's a realisation that, you know, this team is a wee bit different. You've got that something about them, you know, whether it's the special goals or whether it's a running or whether it's a pass. They've got something different. They've got that wee. And again, we've been trying to, between us, figure out how we didn't play well or how we lost games. They played well in the first half, didn't play well in the second. You know, all that stuff that we had last season where we interrogated the backside of the bloody thing. And I think it's down to, it just seems to be down to belief. I think, you know, and I think that there's people like myself who are asking the questions and all that type of thing, I can see it. You know, I can see it coming out of the play. You see the players they're enjoying the way they play. They know what they're to do. They're covering for each other. There were some of the times today when they looked as though the Dundee United players were running into 3 or 4 Rangers players. And it's just they're running after the boys superb at times. And I think absolutely, if we can just maintain that to the end of the season, then we're home and dry. And I think it's a matter of how do you make it any better after that, and what a platform we've got now. So if we're watching Rangers every week, the referee gives them that wee bit kind of a protection that you need for the game to flow, then some of the fit that they're playing scintillating. So you can't not be happy, Ox, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Domano, we're nearly halfway around the back straight now. You know, we're nearly turning for him. You know, so we just keep going.
Yeah, I don't know how that computer works in that SFA or SPFL, but it just seems to be that we're always away. Again, that was 3 games there. We were up at Inverness against Ross County. We were away in Poland. Then we were away up in Dundee. That's a bit of travelling that team's done. So that's good that we've come out with 3 victories. 3 hard games away from home. And it's not just across the other end of the city or Motherwell or Hamilton. It's a wee bit of mileage. So that's a good thing. And surely we're playing all these away games. Surely we've got to start a run of home games shortly.
We don't, mate. February, mate.
Is it February?
If you look at the fixtures, the luck we've had, Jim, for Paisley is unbelievable, eh?
I couldn't believe you were telling. I'm not my finger in the pulse here, but they're saying that table. We've had a home game surely after that.
No, mate, no.
After we're playing away game, we're going to home this season.
Let me just, I'll go through them for you. Just get the main site up. Just give me 1 second. We've got a run of games where we play. Right, I'll give you the fixtures coming up. Obviously, some away, which we can't count, right, because it's home to Motherwell, away to St Johnstone, home to Hibs, away to St Mirren, home to them, and then away to Aberdeen, away to Motherwell, home to Ross County, and away to Hibs. But after
makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, that makes sense.
I think we're at every week, mate.
They're going to make it as hard as they can for us.
Well, we just have to. 3 points is 3 points. We're just about to go. But we've been joined by somebody, so we'll get his words. We've been joined by a caller. Afternoon, caller.
Afternoon, Ox. Afternoon, everybody. Rangers Radio.
Robert.
Hi, guys. And once again, it's turning out to be another beautiful Sunday. Look at it, guys. Look at it this way: 3 away games, 9 points, 8 goals, 1 against. That will do for me any day of the week.
Popcorn Sunday. Like it.
Here.
Love Robert.
Here. Robert, Big Stevie's got the popcorn ready for you, mate.
Oh, mate, no, listen, can I have a wee go at you here, because you've been talking about that Mustang and people get into it and the places are nearly run out. You promised me last week that Mustang, I'm getting a place in that car, so I hope you're not going to let me do as a fellow Bearox.
Listen, mate, it was between you and Mariah Carey. I'm
better looking than Mariah Carey, so you're going to put me in it all day long.
Domanoc, help me out here.
Mariah's in the back of my moped, so she's gone. It's not a problem.
So you've got a seat, Robert. You've got a seat.
Yeah. Oh, just before I know you're running out of time, can I just say one thing? Yes. And can I start off? He's listening to wee Mark Lynch, Portbear, if he's listening. Can somebody come up with a stat better than James Tavernier's goals and assists and his overall play? Can somebody come up with a better stat in European football than James Tavernier? There might be some out there, I don't know. I don't check Google and all these sort of a thing. But I'd like to ask anybody out there listening, can anybody come up with a better stat than our captain? Because your captain, fantastic. You know what? And he's going to get a call up for that England squad, because it doesn't matter what league you're playing, and see what James Tavernier's doing, and see that free kick today. That was Beckham, that was Riquelme, that was Ronaldinho. See that free kick? It doesn't matter what league you're playing, that free kick was world class all day long. And James Tavernier, this guy just gets better and better and better. He's always been my favourite Rangers player over the last 5 years, and I'll tell you one thing, guys, this guy is something else. He's phenomenal.
Cheers for that, Robert. Listen,
thank you.
I thank everybody for the calls. Thank everybody for joining us. Gary, Andy, Jim, yourself, Robert, Cairo, of course, Domano, and of course Fox, and All School Blue for doing the technicals. Remember, the women's game's on in BBC Alba shortly. Come on, the Bluebells. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. We will be joined by Southside. Thanks for listening. Another 3 points. Take it away, All School Blue.
Cheers, lads.
I sailed the wild Atlantic, across the broad Pacific shore. I sailed around the stormy capes and I've heard the 40s roar. I've lined the Indian Ocean, I've sailed the China Sea, but never see back home in Scotland more than all the rest of me. It's the blue sea of my love. It's the greenest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue sea of my love. And it's not something really just clear to me. No more I'll sail the 7 seas, no more